Woo!
Hey, everybody.
Live.
We are Echoed Influence. I am Anthony Spartacus Tamayo, and I'm here as always with Modest Betty herself, April Rodriguez, and we are here at the wonderful collab once again. They were nice enough to let us use the studio once again, and here we are. And April, why don't you tell the fans what we've been up to?
Well, recently we've been doing a lot of Art Fest. We did I think we told you guys last time, well, we were at the
Montebello.
we were at the Fullerton in like 1 week. We were
Oh,
at the Fullerton,
yeah.
and we came to the Whittier one where we saw you guys.
Yeah.
And then right after that, we made a last minute appearance at the Montebello Art Fest. It was really cool because I had seen like other Whittier artists that were posting up flyers for it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. We should see if we can participate in that. And the night before, we sent out a message
We
and they
wrote to
told
them,
us, they said, come on, come be a part of us. And we did, and it was awesome.
Yeah, we got a good and everything. We met a lot of cool people. We networked. We like I said, we met a lot of cool people there. They were digging what we were trying to do for the community as well. So, what else we've been up to? Teaching Shuri.
Oh yeah,
going to the dog parks.
We taught Shuri. First, we taught her how to lay down, how to stay down, and then we taught her how to roll over. And
which she gets like really immediately, but like, how do I say this? Like, she's really like telling her to get down. She just gets down and then pops back up because she knows she's so gonna get that fucking treat. Yes. So now we're just praising her with butt rubs and
instead of
belly
trying
rubs and stuff.
She'll only do it for food now. She doesn't do it unless she has food.
And so also I've still been training for the Ludus. If you guys are still interested in learning how to protect yourselves or protect other people, or just being around other like-minded people who want to get stronger in shape and just learn, and just even if you have something to offer as well, feel free to come down and teach us. I'm definitely open to that.
And then, of course, really big news for us is the Cub Incorporated has made us ambassadors for their
company,
business.
Their corporation. Yeah,
which is so awesome. We're so excited to take on that role and to it,
Yeah, and then also thanks again to the collab for the opportunity. Even just we're really excited to work with them because we feel that they're just like us. They're out to make the community a lot better, make the community work together. And how could you not support that,
Mm-hmm.
So moving on, well, we just want to let you guys know that what we're doing now is we're doing live videos every Friday at 5:00. Instead of the old school way, we're just mixing in the new and old today, or this
really
second season. So we hope you guys enjoy that. Well, we're moving on to mutant news. But
before we do that, you're gonna have to make sure to listen in to the end of our episode because we are going to talk about a raffle detail.
Ooh, nice.
Yes. So if you follow us, then Anthony does amazing artwork with the spray paint collage and the 3D effect it has to it. It's super cool. So some lucky person is going to win a free painting of his. I mean, this is a big deal, like
one of those big old fluorescent ones.
Yes, fluorescent. So if you have a black light, they glow in the dark, or not glow in the dark. They fluorescent.
What's up, Julian?
Hey, Julian! Happy first day at work. Yeah, gonna be soon.
Our friend Julian here, he works at the Knott's Halloween Haunt, so try and see if you could go spot him.
Yeah.
Say, Julian, and he might turn around.
Or he might come with his chainsaw.
So, but yeah, stay tuned. We're going to give you details about the raffle and how you can win one of those. It's not going to just be the painting either. It's going to be a painting, a comic book. We'll think of a couple other things to throw up in there to make you guys love us a little bit more. So now, moving on to mutant news. Have you guys heard about Space Jam, the production of Space Jam 2 moving forward? They want to star, of course, LeBron James, who is probably the better basketball player nowadays.
One of the most well-known.
Yeah, I guess the most popular. My thing about that is that if you're doing this and thinking about the comparison between him and Jordan, just stop. He's never going to be like Jordan in basketball. I am actually more interested in LeBron James as an individual, though, as a person, like with him starting his school and everything. And I really dig that. So, I mean, if he does Space Jam and it inspires more youth, I'm for that, too. I'm not going to hold that against LeBron James, He's about the kids, too. But, I mean, you're just the Jordan one. The Jordan Space Jam, you're never going to beat that one. I mean, I begged my dad to take me like 7-8 times when I was a kid to go see that movie. And then The Miss Marvel trailer. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so cool! Like her helmet, her hair sticking out of it. Like I was just the graphics and everything. The CGI looked so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. And did you
I
see her
think
punch that old
come
lady?
out in a while, right?
No, I know. Yeah, we're just do that to us. But you know that's what the movie industry does.
Yeah.
You know, they'll show a movie like it's not coming out for another year, and it's okay. I'm so excited. They'll show more and more. Did you see when she punched that old lady? No, there was she just like out and punches some old lady on the bus, and it just caused speculation. Like why? It's like, well,
I remember that.
Yeah, they probably think it's a scroll. What's cool about that? What I saw in theory and in relation from reading the comics, scrolls and the scrolls. I hope I'm saying that right. Skrulls. They're invading Earth as their primary is that where a surrogate planet? Is that a thing? Where it's just like basically their planet was eaten by Galactus. So now they're moving on. They're trying to invade Earth so that they can live on in their species and stuff. In the comic books, Wakanda doesn't have that shit. Like they're not down for that. So, but it's crazy because it might introduce Galactus in the MCU. So I'm excited for that.
Cool.
Daredevil season 3. That was an awesome trailer too. That I'm excited for that. It's coming out in October. I believe it's 19th. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. It's not too long. Not too far from now. In the comic books, I saw something that it said something that the most recent issue of Daredevil is alluding to his death, and at the same time bringing back the Fantastic Four after they've been not on a hiatus, but they've been lost or gone for some time.
Dead and gone.
Yeah, well, that's what they said about Deadpool, and that's what they said about Logan. They said that they're dead, and then they came back.
Do you think that it'll have something to do with the snap?
No.
It'll have it's his.
No, the comic book one. No, I don't think they're doing that part.
I see. It's not.
They're past that right now.
I see.
Other than that, like I said, Fantastic Four is making a comeback in the comic books, hopefully in the MCU as well. Me and April, April and I, we were watching the McGregor Khabib press conference. AP, tell me what you thought about that.
I'm fairly new to the world of MMA and fighting, and I grew up with my mom, just me and my mom mostly, and I had a stepdad, but he was like into sports, and by the time he came into my life, I was already too old to be swayed into it.
Oh, by you saying that too, I gotta say, then I'm sorry that you had to see that, because it's never really been like that. It's not always like so dishonorable. It really isn't. Like, I mean. I just want you to know that watching it and everything like that was the press conference especially has nothing to do with actual fighting. It has everything to do with what emotions you see in the actual fighter. That's what I believe.
He was. I just from I don't really know anything about Conor McGregor other than watching that fight, the boxing match.
Oh, against Mayweather.
Yeah. But he just seemed rude. Like as someone who's trying to be respectful in a sport. Or just respectful to anyone that you're working with, because it is a job, it is a career. It's like any other job, you would expect someone to be respectful. I felt like he never let Khabib talk, and then once Khabib talked over him, he was so upset and so hurt. Like he was acting very childish. I don't care if he's good at it. Like just because you're good at something doesn't give you the right to be so disrespectful to someone.
Because when you do that, then people measure you in the amount of money you can rake in and how flashy you can act instead of the skill and honor you could bring to the sport. It's been lost, and
respect.
I could even see people going like, well, if Khabib loses, then the entertainment factor is gone. And it's like, what kind of entertainment are you hoping for? If that's the kind of entertainment you want, there's WWF shit. There's things where people will do that, and this is a sport where some of the most hardest working human beings I've ever met do this sport.
And when we go watch your niece, what is she?
Dallas. She does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, when we go and see her, like...
Hi, Dallas.
Those little girls, they're little girls there, and they're way more respectful of one another than these grown adult men.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't care how good you are at what you do. It doesn't make you better than anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is I remember he was talking to Khabib, telling him like, what kind of fighter just reaches out at people's legs and tries to desperately take him to the ground? And it's like, you, McGregor, when Nate Diaz fucking rocked you, you went and you shot in desperately trying to take him to the ground, which make you ended up getting choked out. And like I told you too, like if McGregor loses and everything, which I hope he does, I really hope that it humbles him and he comes back as a better fighter instead of him being continuously being a dick and then him getting beat again and again and again. And then I don't want that for him to actually be more of an asset to the sport, not the industry, not the UFC, to the sport of MMA.
Yeah.
He can really, like, you know, to me, it's just Trump. He's just a Trump, just up there fighting, talking shit, the loudest, saying like whatever fallible thing he can say and make it truth. He's gonna say it, you know. And McGregor hasn't convinced me. He hasn't convinced me that he's the GOAT or he's one of the greatest fighters. I believe Dana White has protected him to the point where he's won 2 titles and something nobody's ever done. But he was protected. Dana White, man, I'm gonna say it, you really sucked McGregor's dick that day. Like yesterday, you drank his whiskey. You were siding with that guy. That's some pussy shit, and I that bugs me as a viewer, as a fan, and as someone who has done MMA. I just, it's boxing now. It's boxing mixed with WWE stuff, and I said yesterday it's turning into a shit show. But I still support those fighters that are trying so hard in the UFC to stay relevant. I mean, like it's their job. Like fuck, Khabib is 26-0, and how many people are barely hearing about this dude? You know, that just shows like there's like so many. There nothing says I'm new to MMA than being a McGregor fan, I feel. You know, and on a more serious note, because we're still doing mutant news, and mutant news, we want to bring up the fact again that mutants, when they were written and drawn for the X-Men and everything, it was to teach us about racial bigotry. It was during the civil rights movement, and so that's why we keep mutant news relevant. To talk about no justice for a certain mutant in Texas, for a black male who was shot in his own apartment by a police officer. And I'm pretty sure that's well known by now. But what also chaps my ass about this is that the woman who actually did the crime, it was a crime, by the way. It wasn't an accident. She's a murderer. She killed this man in his own home, and she spent less time in jail than the people who are protesting his death, or who was protesting her getting off the hook so quickly. They're spending more time in jail, you know, as protesters. And that ain't right, guys. And, you know, this deserves justice. It's just plain and simple. Like, and not everybody gets it and everything, but we have a chance to make it right. And I think a lot of people are just kind of standing still on it. There are some people who I've seen, like governors, people who are running for governors and stuff like that, trying to speak out on it. But like, damn, be genuine in it. I just want a real change, you know, for mutants, you know, to say the least. But, you know, moving on to our actual central thesis of our episode and everything. Yeah. It's going at it alone. So you want to emphasize on that a little bit, AP?
Yeah. So when we talk about going at it alone, we kind of talked about it a little bit in our anti-hero. We talked about like Punisher and characters that tend to like not work with a team mostly, but that's not necessarily what we're talking about with this episode. We're kind of talking about those times in your life when you are kind of forced to go at it alone, even despite not wanting to, or you know, it's a time in your life when you are just by yourself.
Yeah, it's something you just got to prove to yourself, I think, at that point too. Like from the last episode when we talked about metamorphosis, metamorphosis is done alone. You know, it's painful, and you go through it, and no one can do it for you. There was a story that I read or heard a long time ago about this little girl or this little boy who saw a butterfly trying to come out of his cocoon, and he opened the thing for it to get out. And when he came out, he flew a little bit, but then he died. Yes. And that was just because you helped him. He needs to get out on his own. It's certain strengths that you have to do on your own and perform on your own and prove to yourself that you can fly. Because if someone does it for you, you're gonna fall. You know, so that's the importance, I think, of going at certain things alone.
Yeah, I think for me, it makes me think of the idea of like autonomy, which is
that's a motorcycle, by the way.
The idea of autonomy, which is like the idea of having your own sense of self, but keeping like kind of maintaining the balance between sense of self and you know, your place within the community as well.
Yeah. Yep.
So
What?
Yes.
I just wanted to ask if you have any examples or any stories that you want to share.
Yeah, sure. The example that I would share has to do with like becoming, I guess not becoming an artist, but like kind of that final push into becoming an artist. I'd say like a year ago, I wanted to really, I guess, like delve into the art scene, and I was kind of scared, you know. Um, I was kind of scared because it was something that was new to me, something that was not what I was used to. And so I really wanted Anthony and my friend Stevie to kind of both go with me and be there with me to make this transition. But the more I pulled, the more they kind of fought it because it wasn't for them at the time, at least. You know, it was my journey, it was my transition. And once I accepted that, you know, I just had to keep going. If it was what I really wanted, I had to at least push into it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was my.
And you broke through as an artist, pretty much like
yeah, and it was funny too because after I did, I feel like you came along
evolve,
afterwards, but it wasn't like I was like upset or anything. It was more just like I see like this is mine that I have to do. Like you said, with the whole cocoon, like you know, you just have to go at it alone, and it's so much more meaningful when you actually do.
Yeah, you break that cocoon.
So free. What's your?
I guess I would bring up like my first fight. Now I think when you train and everything, it does take a team effort. It does, like, you know, it's easier when you have someone working with. But when you were in that ring, you were performing by yourself for yourself. Sure, you're in there with an opponent and stuff, but like you're going at that alone. You're going at that opponent by yourself. Anybody can yell whatever they want. They can say whatever you know, whatever advice they want to give you. It doesn't matter. You're doing it and it's yours. I just was, I guess, stunned in a sense until I got hit. Then I got hit and I kind of just, whoa. And then I started to just hit him back with my bread and butter's on the ground. At the end of that round, took him to the ground, got my points. At the beginning of the second round, and I'll never forget this too, like I have the video, in which case we put it in slow-mo. This dude, and I'm pretty sure it was by accident. This guy, he blocked a kick and then he came in to shoot in. And when he shot in, he balled up his fist, and then it gave me a good tap in my balls. Like I was like, oh, and I cringed and I went down on my back and I'm catching my breath. I'm like, geez, my balls hurt. And I realized immediately when this guy got on top of me, I was like, this guy has no ground game. Like I can feel it. And then my legs crawled up, crossed his face, and just armbarred him. He had a whole team, a big ass team, like maybe like 15 dudes that went to go see him. And they had other fighters from their camp there too, but they were all there. Like I had a thing, like, hey, good job for all of them and everything. And I had just me and my friend Johnny, Johnny Espinoza. Shout out to him. Yeah, like he's the one. Like him and I just went in there to go fight. We trained with each other. We were Ronins. We had no masters. So yeah, but just going in there by myself was just a realization. Like, damn, like I know everybody's watching it, but this is just me. It's just my journey. That's my thing that I have to go through. And I'm glad I went through it. I'm glad I did it again and again and again. So moving on, do you have any characters who come to mind when they go at it alone?
Well, the first one that I think of is the bride from Kill Bill.
Oh,
Uma Thurman's character, who at the beginning of that's not the story or the movie, I would say, but at the beginning of her journey for that, she seemed so innocent and so like fresh and very sweet, with her baby and everything. And I know she was an assassin before then, but she seemed like she
was trying to get a normal life, I guess. Yeah.
And then she's forced into this situation where who she thought were her friends are now turned on her, and she really has to take life by herself in order to get her daughter back. So it's like as much as she might not want to have to be by herself, she's kind of forced into that situation. Definitely.
We have two characters in our Interrealm Rumble that really represent these character types. Like the Crow versus Spawn today, and both those are characters who really like go at it alone. Like I understand the Crow has an actual crow that helps him, but for the most part, he's doing this mission alone. And according to the comic books, if he doesn't fulfill or stay on path to his mission, he decays and he dies, or he dies an ultimate death. And and Spawn goes at it alone. You know, even the only thing that he really has to comfort him is a clown that hopes that he serves the devil. You know, like this clown is just he has no interest in his well-being. You know, so he's ultimately going at everything alone. Sure, there are characters who end up teaming up or needing someone's assistance eventually, but there's always a time where they go through things alone. And Spawn had to go through his metamorphosis alone, and Crow had to go through his metamorphosis alone with those thoughts and the memories of the past. You know,
again, like the idea of our episode isn't necessarily about characters that are always alone. This is about the time in your life when you have to be alone. There are plenty of times in your life when it's so important to learn to be okay. That being alone doesn't necessarily have to be lonely.
Yeah. Or like, being alone, like you learn a lot about yourself from doing that, from breaking off from everybody, from the socialisms and everything. Just, I think you owe it to yourself to be alone every once in a while and find the goodness in it. I mean, a lot of people just feel it like, oh,
especially too, because when you're
stigma,
when you're on your own, you really like, you get to think about the things that you like, and you get to do all the things that you like and want to do. Because even when you're with friends, you're compromising. You're compromising what you want to do. You're compromising where you want to go, how you want to spend your time. You wait for friends. You go to the place they want to go. You know, being alone is really kind of nice because you get to figure out.
Refreshing, yeah.
You get to take yourself out on dates. I remember like there were times when I was alone, and I, on purpose, like I would take my bike out and I would ride to the park, and I would lay there and take like little snacks, and I would take a book or take my stuff to draw, take my headphones, take a blanket, and it was a relaxing time because I was on my own schedule. I was on my own everything, you know, enjoying that time, you know.
That's good. I mean, like, yes, you really have to enjoy your own company.
Yourself, like, because why not? You know?
Yeah, because you're a fucking awesome person. Like,
why do you
the first person? Yeah, the first person who's gonna realize you're fucking worth the company is yourself. You know,
and if
you're
you
gonna
don't appreciate your own company, then how do you expect anyone else to?
I want to have a beer with myself. You know. We're going into counseling with comic book couples now, and before I get into this, I wanted to say that the for the MCU, the cinematic universe, the Eternals. I don't care. Let me say that. The Marvel production has chosen a director for the Eternals, which I'm excited for because I'm a huge Eternals fan, and it's Chloe Zhao. Now, the only thing that I've seen that she also has done is something a movie called The Writer, or is it like a show or something? I'm excited to see what she has to offer. I'm actually going to probably watch some of the things that she's done before just so I could get a better gauge. And going into that, you know, them being celestial killers, we're going to go into counseling with comic book couples because it's relative to a celestial. Okay. Here we go, guys. So we got an email here. It says, "Dear Echoed Influence, I feel like I'm destined to roam this vast universe alone. Yeah, I got my herald, but he's more like a waiter who's also my bartender. There are slim pickings for a celestial when it comes to finding a partner who'll spend an eternity with you. Will I ever find true love? Galactus." See, any advice for our friend here?
Well, like I said, like I think we have a hard time accepting that we sometimes have to be alone. Especially, you think about ourselves, we're so unique. We're like these locks, you know, those bike locks that have all those numbers, or this combinations of people, and no combination is the same. Yeah, you might like comic books, but you don't like comic books, and you don't also like this, and this. You know what I mean? Like, we're all so unique that you have to understand that you might not find someone right away.
Yeah.
It might not happen when you're 16 or in your 20s, or
it might happen when you least expect it, with who you least expect, you know.
And the thing is that, like, so much more yourself and have your own sense of self and your own confidence built on your own foundation.
Yeah, because usually when people get into relationships, they usually kind of just download all their insecurities into this other person who really doesn't deserve that.
Yeah.
You know, someone's like, oh man, like I need to find love. And they go out there and find it, thing that they didn't even want in the first place. So I'm just my advice to Galactus is to just be a little bit patient. I mean, like, I know the loneliness can be a little bit achy for the heart, but it also strengthens the heart. It also weeds out the people you don't want to fall in love with and stuff. So don't be quick to just find someone to fill that void. I think at the same time, you're on the right path if you feel this way.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the right path because it's something's bound to happen, especially if you're looking and you put yourself out there.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. You just got to be a lot more patient than you're displaying right here. You know, there is slim pickings for everybody. That's what they always feel. But honestly, you're in the universe.
But I think also if you think that way, it's like that's what you're putting out into the universe. You know, oh, there's slim pickings there, which isn't true.
No, like, yeah, there's a universe.
You know what? I think it's also too has a lot to do with people think that love is something that's going to come easy. People aren't willing to work for love, and love requires a lot of hard work.
I blame other Disney movies for that.
Yeah.
Like they have these high expectations for this perfect ass relationship, and when people feel that they don't, mermaid, they just go, "Oh, this is wrong."
Disney doesn't.
There was that Funny or Die thing that I showed you, and there was like every single couple was in counseling, and what was it? It was Eric and Ariel, and he goes, "Keep this shit up, or I'm gonna throw you out on the what's that word? Oh yeah, street." Take that, Ariel.
But I mean, you have to think about it because if you're imperfect, what makes you think that someone else is going to be perfect? And no one is perfect, and no one's going to be perfect for you. But someone's going to be worth it for you to work for them.
Yes.
And if there's fighting is inevitable. Your brother
talk, and you're going to argue with those guys.
That's true. So what makes you think that a relationship would be any different than that? You know, so that's why I say like enjoy your time alone because it's an awesome time, and when you have a relationship, that's awesome too. But you know, it's all just part of the journey and the transformation itself. So.
And I also think when people you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, really think about this for a second. Like, jump on the other side. You're actually very liberated. You're able to do, like you said, whatever you want to do and whatever you want to think about. You don't even have to say it out loud because your inner monologue is doing very well.
Telling you a story.
Yeah, you know, and like. I don't know. I have great conversations with myself all the time.
And your mom was just like, "Are you talking to yourself?"
When? What was that?
She don't know. She said, "Did you just answer yourself?" That's what she said.
Yeah. You know what I realized? Like a lot of Hispanic people answer their own question. They go like something like, "Hey, let me borrow some money." Yeah. They answer their own question. So would you rather? So everybody's favorite. No, would you rather?
That's not true. That's Interrealm Rumble.
I will. I'll be the judge of that. I gotta present it in some way, you know. And I've said it like this every single time. See, that's opinion, right? Hopefully, someone says the same thing. Like, no. Okay, go ahead. You do this.
Okay. Okay. So, would you rather? Would you rather have Iron Man suit from Marvel, Iron Man suit? Or from DC, the Scarab.
Blue Beetle Scarab. Now, the reason why we came up with this version of it is because Iron Man's suit is used as a tool. Like it's something you can put it on and everything. And yeah, it can communicate with you with some minimal artificial intelligence, but mostly you are the one driving it. Blue Beetle's Scarab, it talks to him. It controls certain things and it protects him when he's not doing it right. You know, it merges with his memories and it has intergalactic memories, something like the Green Lantern, you know, just like it goes from warrior to warrior and carries the memories and the experience with it. So it's a very incredible, powerful suit. The thing is that you're coexisting with something else. Something else is telling you what to do. Now, you as a person, like, you know, you want to get into this fight, you know, and you want the best suit that you can get. Are you throwing on this Iron Man suit, or would you rather put on the Scarab from Blue Beetle?
And then you tell me.
I like the idea of having someone there with me, though. Like I have you know, not to say that Tony Stark doesn't have Tuesday or Friday or whatever the fuck her name is talking to her. Like, I just think the Scarab has a lot of the Blue Beetle's Scarab has his best interest involved, and I think that little bit of help goes a long way. The guy who's in the suit has been alone for a long time and understood the loneliness and what it means to be powerless and then getting the suit and everything, he's already humbled. He's a good kid and everything. And I feel like Tony Stark is already cocky, overconfident, puts on the suit and becomes overconfident. I personally, that's just the character. I want the Scarab. God damn it.
Really?
It's from fucking outer space. I want the Scarab.
I want Iron Man.
You want Iron Man?
I would hate that, like, I think I would hate to have to be so out of control, because then ultimately, like, I think you know that I'm like this. Like, I don't want someone telling me what I can and can't do.
I see. Yeah.
I don't want someone telling me that I can't go in the street, you know, like, and not being able to control that.
But here's the thing.
Like,
that's why the Scarab, I think, is actually good for you, though, because you're gonna say, I don't want to go out on the street, but the Scarab's gonna be like, okay, what you don't see is the car coming. But if you're just in the Iron Man suit, you're gonna go, oh, well, I'm fucking, and then it's like, wait a minute, we weren't trying to protect you. You blew up that car with a bunch of family people in there.
I'm more like, I want that choice. I want to be able to decide my own. Yeah, I want to be able to decide my own fate. Mm-hmm. I don't want anyone else to tell me, not just to tell me, but to physically be able to control what I do. Like, it's okay if you want to tell me, that's fine. It doesn't mean I have to listen, you know. I
see. But it's like that. Have you ever seen the movie Star Kid?
No.
Oh man, it's really this planet that made a suit, because there's little people, but they made this big old suit. It's very powerful, and it's actually this guy, this little Martian's son, sends it to Earth, and this kid finds it in the fucking junkyard, and he gets into it, and it's a suit, and it talks to him, and you know, and they're super powerful, so they have to, you know, they protect the city. Like when he can morph into certain things that he needs to morph into like a biochemical weapon, or it's pretty cool. And then there's an actual alien invasion that starts to happen, so he actually has to fight off one of the aliens. It's really cool. It talks to him, it protects him, because he's just a kid, mind you, too. And someone needs to guide him. Same thing with that Scarab. He's a kid, you know, something needs to guide him, and he's doing a great job, and they coexist really well together. You got suits like Venom, the symbiote, who like will argue with you, who will go like, no, we want to kill this guy, right? And he's like, no, Eddie Brock's like, no, we don't want to kill anybody. And once they hear that someone's bad or vicious or mean, and Eddie goes, oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that, symbiote? And the symbiote will say, yeah, I heard it. Now we're going to kill these fools? Like, yeah, we'll kill them. You know, so it depends. Like, but when it comes to Blue Beetle Scarab, I the idea of merging with a higher intelligence. So moving on to EI recommendations. We just saw Iron Fist season 2.
Like, spent the whole week just watching it.
Yeah, it was really good. Like, it was a vast improvement from the first season. And what I learned about it is that the guy who plays Danny Rand, Finn Jones.
Yeah, who's in Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, he had mentioned that in the first season it was already hard because on site he learned the choreography, and learning that, and then watching the first season, you could see it's a little slow. And I remember talking about it with this gentleman who was like, "Man, Iron Fist is supposed to be the best martial artist, and this doesn't." Reading that about Finn Jones and him saying that, I kind of give him the leeway, because into the second season, big difference. The choreography was fantastic between him and the other fighters. It was really good. Davos was a really great character, but I think the one character that stole the whole show, Bloody Mary, Mary Walker.
So interesting.
Yes, she was a freaking versatile character. Once you learned about her multiple personalities,
I can't wait to find out her.
Well, we highly recommend it, you know.
Hey, Joseph.
So yeah, just go ahead and give that a watch. What's up, Olemerdo? And let's see. We also watched The Crow and Spawn for some research references. What did you?
We'll talk about those.
Okay, I'm gonna get your opinions here then. Okay. Also too, we went to the Montebello art show.
Yeah.
And, walking around, we saw some very cool art, people's art and everything. And one thing that caught my eye was Dark Queen. Is this gentleman written and created and illustrated by George Hernandez. This is I met his girlfriend, who's a wonderful woman, Minnie. Mm-hmm. She's really cool. Shout out to Minnie, and showing me this awesome comic book that he wrote called Dark Queen. This is just the premiere issue. It's very well written. The quality is the drawings are well done. Black and white. It's for adults and everything's it's dark a little bit. It's from Darkroom Comics. If you guys get a chance, go ahead and buy yourself one of these comic books. It's featuring the Devil, the Reaper, and the Spawn meets Doctor Strange, if that makes sense. So again, thank you, Minnie, and thank you, Mr. Hernandez, for your work. It's fantastic. Please, I'm gonna be hitting you guys up for that second issue. How about you, AP?
I have two things to share. My first one is it got a little bit messed up. It fell the other day.
I see. It's okay. It looks fantastic.
But I got this the other day at the art stroll. Let me see. Where's the camera at? Right here.
Don't forget this camera too.
Yeah, I'll show that right now. It's a flower and a moth. They look so tiny. Let me show you guys over here real quick. You got you can't really see too much of the blur. That's flower and moth. I got it from one of the artists here, Hearts Blossom. She does all these really cute, cool, little, I don't know what to call them, capsules.
Yeah, it's like a glass capsule with like a little cork in it underneath. Yeah. I have like a little dead flower and a little dead bug in it.
Super cute.
Yeah, it's a real cool, innovative way to display some art. Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, wow, that's fucking cool.
My second recommendation is for anyone who hasn't read it, The Alchemist. Let me show you over here, The Alchemist. And the reason I bring this one up in this episode is for anyone who hasn't read it, the basic premises of The Alchemist is there's this little boy. He's like a teenager, I would say. And he's forced to go on this journey on his own. He kind of decides to quit doing what he was doing and set out on this journey to become an alchemist. That was what his heart desired. And as much as he wants to have people come with him, and as much as people come in and out of his life, he is doing this all by himself, and he struggles and he has hardships, and it's just a beautiful book about how sometimes the journey is really messy and you have to just be okay with that and keep
going. Was he alone
going.
For most of these journeys?
Well, that's the thing. He was alone in some of them, and then some people he ended up not being able to trust. And there's just all these situations. So as much as there are people that come in and out, you realize that he's very much doing everything by himself. He has to decide whether or not to trust people.
I guess that's another thing that we forgot to mention too, is that you can feel completely alone surrounded by people, considering that they're all strangers or most of them are untrustworthy.
One of McCaskey's most famous quotes is about feeling alone in a crowd. A bunch of people,
yeah. So, moving on to something that I wanted to finally talk about, the fantastical fan favorite, Interrealm Rumble. We got on one side, we got the Crow. And if you guys watch the Crow, this dude has incredible feats. Now let's name off a few abilities here. Okay. He has enhanced strength, speed, and agility, cat-like reflexes, heightened sense, resistance to injury or pain. I don't know how to say this. Psychometry?
Yeah.
Psychometry, tactile empathy, and telepathy, which is that's a really good one right there. I believe the psychometry is about being to extract things from people, or it's an object like that. That's the Crow. The Crow's the object that gives him his power, and that's what that means. Sees through the eyes of the Crow, able to turn into a crow, and possesses flight and night vision. I didn't know that last part. I didn't know he could turn into a crow and use his night vision and even fly.
Okay? Oh, in the comics.
Yeah.
That's cool. Can you see
this one?
Oh, no, never mind. That's okay.
And then on the other side, we have another Hellraiser named Spawn, Alchemy style. To name off a few of his abilities: superhuman strength, speed, agility, and endurance. Immortality to an extent. Powers drain when used, and full drainage of powers result in death. That is a little bit of a downer. He has a healing factor as long as he can concentrate. Highly skilled tactician, martial artist, swordsman, marksman, athlete, and acrobat. Teleportation, shapeshifting, necroplasmic energy blast, resurrection, multiple demonic powers, energy, and molecular manipulation. Now, first, I want to talk about the Crow and how he interacts with people. He has no armor, 0 armor. Why would he need it? He he really doesn't die.
Heals almost instantly.
Yeah,
right?
instantly. Like as soon as like I feel like if you cut off his head, this part would start healing
Yeah.
before anything else happened. You
Mhm.
know, so he doesn't feel pain like he acts like he does, which I noticed in the movie. He acts like he feels the pain, but he doesn't. He can the telepathy. That's what gets me about this one is that Spawn. When every time that clown grabbed him to make him see a vision, it happened.
Mhm.
You know, and I think that if the crow wanted to transport his pain, he can do that. And that's what one of these powers is that I don't know if you remember at the end of the movie, he told, I'm going to give you 17 hours of pain because he was dying, remember?
Yeah.
And so he goes, I don't want it anymore. And he touched that guy and he gave him it all. That's the one thing I think Spawn's going to have problems with. The thing is, though, Spawn is packing. Spawn has an armor. He has chains. He has a cape that can fly. His whole suit morphs into what he needs.
Yeah.
He can extract a ball or that thing from that dude's heart. You know, that's a lot of packing power. And then he's also a great hand-to-hand combatant.
Mhm.
You can't say Brandon Lee is. You know, you can't say Brandon Lee is a skilled fighter, thus attributed to the Crow. You know what I mean?
Spawn, before he died, he was in the military.
Yes, he was special forces.
So he's trained.
Yes, and but the thing is, I believe a lot of those dudes that the Crow killed were military spec op trained dudes. You know, and it's easy to kill those guys when you're not going to die. The thing is that I think it comes down to the telepathy and like Spawn, he's able to heal and everything. But like I said, if you stab him enough, if you shoot him enough, he dies. Like, because he's using that energy to heal himself. And if you do that enough, he's going to die.
It's funny because that's the thing that to me kind of like stood out and made me, because I thought I had my answer and I thought it was Spawn, but that kind of gives me pause because it's like, oh, if he's fully drained, if the Crow who, you know, just keeps getting hit comes back.
Skinny guys, one quote from Tyler Durden, skinny guys fight till they're burger. I feel that about Crow. He's going to keep coming at you and coming at you.
Especially if he heals.
And he's going to keep cutting you. He's going to keep shooting you. And then I think him throwing his chains and he's cat-like. He has those reflexes where he can dodge a lot of those shots anyways.
Yeah.
On top of that, the Crow can see like in places where he can't. A thing that the Crow has a weakness of is once that Crow is gone, his powers are gone.
Yeah.
See, but the thing is how is Spawn going to make immediate connection? How's he going to know? Oh, they're a thing.
Yeah, if he doesn't know, he'd have to know about him ahead of time.
One thing that I did think that Spawn had over Crow until I read that last thing was he can fly. Spawn can fly, and apparently so can the Crow, and he has night vision. Mm-hmm. So it's hard for me to pick. Like I said, I wanted to go Spawn too, until I realized that the healing factor for the Crow is much greater than that of Spawn. Mm-hmm. Spawn seems to be straight from hell. I think the Crow is neither heaven or hell. So whatever power manipulation that guy has, it may not have any effect on the Crow, demonic wise, because he's already dead. So I mean, I guess I would have to read more Spawn comics to confirm that. But just learning from their origin stories and everything, I don't have a winner, and I'm not allowed to pick them.
My vote is for Spawn, honestly.
For Spawn, my vote is for the Crow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a huge Spawn fan, though. Like, I love Al Simmons. Like, I think this fight can go either way.
I think for me,
is probably because you're going for Spawn. I don't want the Crow to be, because the Crow deserves to win. He deserves a.
Okay, so I think that the Crow. I don't think that the Crow is like bad or anything or not. Like, I just think he's very vulnerable because of the Crow itself, the bird itself. So for me, that's super vulnerable. Whereas like Spawn's vulnerability is that if he gets hurt enough that
his own self.
Yeah, and that seems a little bit less vulnerable to me than the Crow itself.
I see.
So that's why I vote for Spawn.
I see. I would go for the Crow because also too after what's happened to him, he's going to be a little bit more vigilant on the idea of keeping the Crow out of harm's way.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be like, just can you fly way in the fuck over there so he can't even see you, like, and he just flies off. That's what I'm saying though. Like, means that we both say opposite sides. I think we have to do one more poll.
Yeah,
I
we're
think
gonna
we
have to get the.
Yeah, the fans are gonna have to vote for this one because
you guys have to let us know what you think.
Yeah,
Please
because
tell
like
us.
this one we're both out of.
And I'm
cross.
not. I'm stuck on Spawn.
Yeah,
and I think
I'm stuck on the Crow. Yeah,
So-
it's not that like I don't think that like I said Spawn couldn't win. It's just that
yeah,
I think
agree about
I think
Crow.
like you said, like if they two equal fighters need to fight at least 3 times.
Yes,
And I'm saying Crow
yes.
wins 2 out of 3.
I say the reverse.
Reverse? Okay. So guys, help us out here. You know,
Please.
come up with something. Right now we just have a tie. And I believe rightfully so. Otherwise, I'd be like, no, fuck that.
That's funny.
But like, no, you're right. It deserves to be a tie. And please, guys, again, let us know what you guys think. If you guys seen the show, we're about to read the comics, like the big, thick, fucking volumes and everything. So we'll let you know what we come up with at the end. And because that this is a tie, we might have this one to come back and just try it again. You know, so AP is going to hit you with some raffle details now that we're all done with this.
So, like you said before, if you follow Anthony, you know him at all, or even on our stuff, you've seen some of his artwork. We're going to be raffling one of his paintings off to one of our lucky listeners and fans. We're so excited about this one. So, all you have to do on our Echoed Influence profile, we just want you to. We're going to tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So look out for it tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on our Instagram. We're going to post a picture of the finished product, the reveal, which we showed you guys the background of on our live video.
I'll show you guys really quick my style. If you guys can see that, it's Gambit and Rogue. It doesn't. The pictures on here doesn't really do it justice.
Yeah, it's not getting the good color, but you
guys get the concept. It's not going to be. We'll reveal it tomorrow. What the actual picture is going to be
at 8 p.m.
At 8 p.m. So tune in.
Echoed Influence, and all you have to do is like the picture, like the post, follow us on Echoed Influence, and tag 3 friends. Yes.
You can tag any 3 friends you want. Friends that you think need comic book knowledge, that can use the little bit more extensive research, or just friends that love comic books and just love to read.
Or friends who just want, who like the philosophy and psychology aspect of what we talk
about. Especially those friends who like to talk about the psychology and the sociology and philosophy of all the comic books and stuff like that. So yeah, let's network, guys. So
once again, we'll be posting that tomorrow at 8. And then next week when we do our live podcast here at the Collab Incorporated, we will pick our winner. We'll pick it right here in front of you, so you guys will get to see.
First time what we do here.
So keep an eye out for that.
Okay, real quick, I just wanted to emphasize again about the training. Please, guys, if you guys want any help on learning some basic moves, basic training methods.
That's what we forgot to talk about in Mutant News. I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, but on Home Gallery,
yes, that's right.
On Home Gallery, I had seen someone post that, in Pico Rivera, close to where we live, that there were 2 occasions where people were attacked or attempted attack or followed. And if you know Anthony, you know what we're trying to do with our night rides. One of the things that we're trying to do is create almost like a neighborhood watch, because we love our community and we don't want anyone that's
people to feel
family or
protected.
friends. Yeah. So we're trying to create our night riders to ride around and kind of protect the city. But yeah, 2 girls got attacked. 3 girls total got attacked. And
as close as for us, it was as close as Waba Grill by Surf Ride in Pico Rivera. Yes. And like even the women were like, these motherfuckers were so bold to hit these women, to try and I'm assuming to take them in the car or whatever. And for me, I don't like that. That's not happening in my neighborhood.
No,
and so if anybody wants to join up with us and just at least train to learn how to protect one another, and then have these night rides where people are going to feel safe when we are around, they're going to feel it. Safe. Yes, in our own neighborhood and everything, whether you're from Whittier, Pico, or Montebello, the surrounding areas, we're here to protect, and we're starting from within, y'all. We're starting from within our own neighborhood. So I'm all fired up right now.
If you're interested in self-defense, not only for yourself, but like you said, to protect others, hit us up on Echoed Influence and let's arrange something.
Yeah, let's get some, have you guys ever seen Kick-Ass 2? We're going to just get a bunch of people who want to be heroes and stuff like that. So, I mean, please, guys, get in contact with me and we'll start doing something. We even go as far as to learn a few little weapon training tactics and stuff like that. So hey, you'll be around a lot of like-minded people. At the very least, you become a glorified stuntman. You know,
I also do
tarot
cards. Don't forget, I do tarot readings, $25 for 1 hour. If you like the kind of stuff that we talk
That's
about
really good.
here, that's like a lot of what the tarot reading is. It's mostly just if you're interested in growing yourself and being a better version, tarot cards are perfect for that. And I also have a new account called Young Mystic on Instagram where I'm posting my spiritual art and
It's with a J.
Yeah, like Carl Jung.
Jung.
And I'm posting all my stuff up on there, my spiritual stuff, spiritual art, card of the day. If you just need some positive words, positive motivation, follow me on there.
Yeah, and enforcement, like positive enforcement. So she's really fantastic with these readings, y'all. Like I always say it too. Like when I got my reading, it was very, how do I say, clear and very like calling me out, like making me feel like, okay, this is what I have to do. It's
if
not so much.
Be this person, this is what needs
exactly.
to be done.
It's not so much as she's gonna be a fortune teller and tell you what you should be doing with your fucking life. It's like it just is display on things that you need to work on. Like everybody has them.
It's funny because that's the thing about a tarot reading. I feel like is people want tarot readings to tell you, okay, tell me what's going to happen, please, just because I'm too impatient. But
who's going to win the Super Bowl?
or like, when am I find the love of my life? When am I going to get this career? But honestly, the only thing that can tell you that is how hard you're working for it.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing to make it happen? And the tarot cards are just reminding you how to get to that place again. They're not going to tell you, they're going to tell you what your future could be if you work towards it, if you envision it.
Yeah, Ibby had a really great interpretation of it when she called it it's like a Rorschach test. It's basically, she shows you a picture and it's up to you to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so okay. Something I haven't done in a very long time is I wanted to start promoting again for my massage therapy. I'm Hands of Apollo, but you can also hit me up on Echoed Influence or on my personal account 109BC_Spartacus, and we can arrange an appointment so I can give you a massage. We have $30 for a full hour, full body deep tissue massage, $25 for a Swedish massage. I also do hot stone therapy, pregnancy massage, and I do geriatrics as well. That means for elderly folk.
Nice.
And I also do sports therapy massage for all the people who are involved in sports, whether anything, just to get you ready or to calm you down. I'm there for you guys. AP, I'm very excited about this. It's a book club, but we're not going to call it a book club. It's our graphic novel league, right, guys?
So graphic novel league, we want to start doing like a book club once a month type thing, the graphic novel league.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to be reading graphic novels instead of books.
Yeah.
So if you're into reading and you're into book clubs and you're into graphic novels, you should join us. The first one we're going to do will be October 18th at 6 p.m. That's a Thursday.
And it'll be here at the Collab.
Here at the Collab Incorporated. Woo-woo. Thank you for supporting us and for hosting us here at the Collab. October 18th. And the first graphic novel we're going to read is The Eternals by Neil Gaiman. And we should have brought it, but we're reading The Eternals. So if that's something you've read and want to discuss or something
looks
that
like this, y'all.
read, yeah.
The Eternals by Neil Gaiman. It's a fantastic book. It's a fantastic read. As we just said, they got a new director. It's going forward in phase 4. So why not get a jump on these guys and see them for what they are? That way we can really criticize them. You'd be like, hey, that's not how the Eternals are.
But we can talk about it. And, if you're a Neil Gaiman fan, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So if that's something you're interested in,
especially if you're a Neil Gaiman fan,
mark your calendars. We'll be advertising also on our Instagram if you're interested in that.
Yeah, write to us and let us know if you want to go forward with it, so we can tell you where to even get this book from. There's so many places where you can get it, but it's also a little bit of a rarity. So
I know you Amazon, of course. Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon's a sure shot there, but we'll do whatever it takes to help you get that book so you can join our club and or our league.
And then a library. If you don't have a library card, they're amazing.
Yeah, that's how we read it. That's how we rented it from the library.
The Los Angeles
so cool.
County library system is fantastic. You can order a book online from like any library and they'll send it to the library that's closest to you. So you don't even have to go far and you can get it. It's super easy. If you have fines, they'll work with you too. Because honestly, I had finds at both the Whittier Library and the Pico Library, and they worked with me. So I mean,
it's like owing the credit card companies.
They want
It's
you to
not
come
like
in,
that.
though. They want you to come in. They really do. So, like I said, just take a shot. They'll work with you. Usually they're willing to. I think the Whittier Library specifically is, if you are under 18, they get rid of it if you're over 18, which is awesome.
So let us know as soon as you get that book, and then let us know, like, okay, we got Joseph ready, we got whoever ready to collab and read about it and everything. It's just a place for us to geek out and talk the philosophy of the comic book itself and everything. And I just want to see everybody else's understanding of a comic book, or in this case, a graphic novel.
And we're hoping to make this a regular thing. So I think the next one we want to do is American Gods, because they just came out with their volume 1 of their graphic novel.
And they have a TV show. It's fan-fucking-tastic.
And the book, of course.
Yes, and the book, it's also written by Neil Gaiman. So
awesome. And then other than that, once again, we're so thankful for the collab, for letting us be here, for hosting us, for letting us be a part of it. We're so happy and so excited to be here.
Thank you, collab, for everything that you guys have done for us. I mean, we really appreciate it. We keep telling them, like, they're very hospitable here. They really want to make you comfortable. And at the same time, we're grateful for just about anything we get. We came from the fucking backyard, with dealing with dogs and airplanes taking into the
next door neighbor music.
Yeah, and the next door neighbors being so inconsiderate. And like, this is such a luxury for us. And so the collab can provide, and it's like, if you have the aspiration and you have the want and need, the collab has everything else.
And there's a lot of people and older
elderly
people like that are trying to do things and willing to help each other and work together. So
that just proves like you can start a business or do any of that at any age. Like, some people are starting it right now, which is good. I mean, at a young age. But then there's guys that you see here that are older that develop an idea and go, you know what?
I think it's more like they're developed, like and they want to help other people that are trying, and it's just it's a nice environment to be around.
Yeah, it's a good networking spot.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, they have everything else that you could possibly want and need if you're trying to further your career. There's no excuses here. That's what they should have here. No excuses assigned.
Look for Baby Deadpool this Sunday.
Yes. Look forward to seeing some new Baby Deadpool videos. We got some new characters that we want to show off, and we've been itching to do these episodes and stuff. We've been a little bit busy trying to work things out with our new master program and our art and our collective and everything. But now we're getting a little bit more settled in here. We're a little bit more established, and now we're ready to give you some awesome Deadpool snippets. And see, like something for the adults. We don't have as adults, we don't get Saturday cartoons, but we'll get Sunday hangover snippets from Deadpool, Baby Deadpool. So I hope you guys enjoy those and be on the lookout for that. Please, again, tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. for some more details on the raffle. And thank you guys for stopping by. And it's always a pleasure to give you guys some of our inside information and everything, and some of our philosophy. And thank you guys for the love so much, guys. And we appreciate everything that you guys done. Please tell your friends to follow us, to like us, to collab with us, to subscribe, to give us your information, your thoughts and everything. Because we really desperately want to just start talking to you guys. Yeah, we really want to be able to get very involved with you. So other than that, thank you guys again for stopping by. Again, we're Echoed Influence at the collab. Modest Betty,
me,
Spartacus. Peace.
Bye.